from our early childhood, we have been exposed to the Indian rituals which involve Havan. Now, all that as a child we used to see were people sitting around a small pot of fire, maybe a large, fire burning, and some people with vermilion, tilak karke, they used to be doing something and putting that into the fire, some kind of a powder and some herbs, and we could just see that, and then ghee would be added. All that we remembered. A lot of us still, even today, all that we remember was the Pandit saying Swaha, and that's all we remember. And हम सबको यही लगता है कि हवन जिसको मंत्र आते हैं बहुत सारे, the people who can invoke deep mantras with the right protocol, the right system, people who have undergone that training for becoming a Pandit, and those who are born only as Brahmins, they are the ones who can do yajna or havan. These complicated mantras, it is not everybody's cup of tea. We also believe that a havan or a yajna can be done only on special occasions, forgetting that every day is special for each of us. A lot of us also feel that the havan or the yajna has got something to do only with the Sanatan Dharma. It has got something to do only with the Hindu philosophy. Well, to dispel these and many other myths, we have got with us somebody, and the right somebody, because he is a person who would not agree to anything without questioning. He is a cardiac surgeon. He has been conducting operations on thousands of people, a former senior registrar at the King's Hospital College in London, somebody who has been the head of cardiology, head of cardiac surgery department at the Maha Gujarat Hospital in Nadia. From 1997 onwards, he has been conducting surgeries across the state of Gujarat. A person who all of us know, and coming from a fraternity, normally they would not agree to anything which is ritualistic. Normally they would not agree to anything that is not present in the physical domain. And that's the person we have with us today, this morning. He is none other than Dr. Anil Jha. Jha Sahab, once again, a very, very a deep gratitude to you, and specifically to CA Jigar Thakkar for arranging this talk this morning. I have been waiting for this, and I would not say waiting for this for the last couple of weeks only. I've been waiting for this for a long time. जहाँ बचपन से सुनते आ रहे हैं गायत्री हवन, अग्निहोत्र हवन, ये सब होते हुए देखा है, करने की इच्छा हुई थी, because once in a while we also felt we could do this, and we have been reading articles, scientific journals, that this has potential to treat illnesses, this has potential to take care of environmental pollution. But then there are naysayers who say this creates pollution. There are naysayers who believe this can possibly complicate your current health conditions. Sir, thank you so much once again, and I'll cut to the chase right away. Jha Sahab, you'll have to take care of this question in everybody's minds, and there are a lot of questions that are going to be coming today. क्या हवन या यज्ञ एक लंबा चौड़ा प्रोसेस ही होता है? क्या उसको करने की तैयारी के पहले मुझे 2-4 दिन जाके अलग अलग सामग्री खरीदनी पड़ेगी? Do I really need to go and invest in a big havan kund? And every time I want to do a yajna, do I have to invite a qualified pandit? Is it always necessary? Jha Sahab.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you, Himatri ji, for the kind introduction and kind words. And specifically, I must thank you for picking up the right topic, which is very relevant in the present times, especially in the present days of pandemic that we are facing. At the outset, you have raised very pertinent questions, and I would like to address all of them. And time permitting, at the end, we would do a small, demonstration of how easily anybody can perform a small yajna at home.
Sir, time we have plenty. We would want your permission.
On a daily basis.
Sure.
So let me at the outset put our today's subject in the correct perspective. Yajna, which is, as you rightly said, we have heard of yajna to be a religious ritual, a karmakand, a religious act, a Sanatan Dharma act, or a religious procedure. but basically it's a very large subject. It has a very broad meaning. See, basically the ritual is called karma kand. It is not a simple karma. It is not a simple karma. It is called karma kand. When you add kand to any particular word, it creates an impact. Like in a negative sense, though, agni kand, hatya kand, a thing which creates an impact. So this is a karma kand. It is not a simple karma. It is karma kand. And as I said, it has a very broad meaning. If I can say, I mean, the ya and gya means yagya. Ya plus gya means yagya. So it's a Sanskrit word, and if you elaborate, it becomes yat. Gya means gyan. Jo gyan hai. You got my point? Ya plus gya. Ya means yat, means jo. Gya means gyan. Jo gyan hai. So, see, as you rightly said, we say swaha and we say idam namam. These are two things which we hear every day when we perform yagya. So this is what is gyan. Idam namam. This is not mine. We are just a trustee in this world. This yagya basically reminds us of our relation with nature and and it guides us how we should live in the society. Idam namam. So once we know that this is not mine and this is somebody else's, this is God's and this is everybody's, we know how to live in this world. As in Ishavasya Upanishad, they say, Ishavasyam idam sarvam yat kinchit jagatyam jagat ten sarven bhunjitam ma gridha kasya smidhanam. Means you have to live as if you are a trustee. If you are a cashier in the bank, the cash in the bank doesn't belong to you. You're just a cashier. It is something like that. And swaha is another word which defines how we should live in the society. Swaha means swa plus ah. Ah means words, and su means good. Su ah, good words. With your tongue and with your vocal cords, you should speak good words. Swaha means swa ki ahuti dena, khud ki ahuti dena. खुद की आहुति देना मतलब कि हमारे समय का, हमारे ज्ञान का, हमारे प्रभाव का समाज के लिए किस तरह से उपयोग हो सके, हमारे धन का समाज के लिए स्व की आहुति देना, हमारे धन का समाज में किस तरह से उपयोग हो सके, उसको कहते हैं स्वाहा. स्वाहा. और तीसरा है स्व मीन्स सेल्फ, आहा हाउ गुड इज द सेल्फ, आत्मा की जानकारी, स्व की जानकारी, so that is one thing which we must all understand. And the other, if you go to the root of the word yagya, it comes from the root yaj dhatu, and yaj dhatu basically root has three meanings. One is deva pujan. See, I'll tell you how we should have relation with the nature. Deva pujan means to offer respect, to offer prayers, to offer worship to the devas. Now, which are these devas? These devas are nothing but Vayu, Surya, the natural elements, the elements of nature, Vriksh, Nadi like Ganga, Yamuna, we all call them devas, So it is a pujan or respect for the devas. And it also means how we should live in the society, means we should respect, adore, value those who are elderly in the society. So, Deva Pujan means both things. While you are performing the homam or yagya, respect to the deity. And while you are living in the society, respect and value for the elderly. For the elderly who are not only elderly in the terms of age, but intellect, wisdom, physical attributes, moral attributes, So this is Deva Pujan, number one. Number two is Sangathan, a union, a cooperation, a coordination, a synergy amongst equals. आप कभी भी यज्ञ करते हैं तो you call people from your society, from your family, there is a gathering and there is a coordination. वो कोई संविधा लेके आता है, कोई आहुति लेके आता है, कोई घी लेके आता है, कोई यज्ञ कुंड प्रज्वलित करता है. So there is a cooperation, there is a coordination, there is a synergy amongst the people who are performing yajna. Similarly, we should have similar synergism, similar coordination, similar cooperation amongst members of the society. हम समाज में भी लोगों के साथ इसी तरह का कोऑपरेशन रखें, इसी तरह के सिनर्जिज्म रखें, इसी तरह का एक स्मूथ और हार्मोनियस रिलेशंस रखें. So that is Sangathan. So Dev Pujan is one. Number 2 is Sangathan. And number 3 is Dan. Dan means to give, charity, benevolence, philanthropy, help, assistance. To whom? To those who are lesser than you. Dev Pujan means for those who are elderly and bigger than you, stronger than you. Sangathan means amongst the equals, आपके जैसे जो लोग हैं उनसे coordination and synergy. And 3, Dan. Dan means those who are lesser than you, needy, downtrodden, backward. You know, those who are exploited. To offer them what? To offer them money, to offer them food, to offer them shelter, to offer them medicines. You know, we say netra yagya hota hai, jahan pe cataract ka hota hai. That is, you offer your parts of the body, transplantation, organ transplantation. These are all yagya. So basically, yagya is a broad term, and I will, for sake of simplicity, I will classify it into three things. One is dravya yagya. Dravya yagya means when you give your material, like when you give money to somebody, when you give shelter to somebody, when you give woolen clothes in winter to somebody, you know, when you give medicines to somebody, that is dravya yagya. You offer your things to somebody, physical things. Number 2 is Gyan Yagya. When you give your knowledge, when you spread your knowledge, when you spread your wisdom, like satsang, किसी का प्रवचन होता है, you know, you hear good things from him, you know how to proceed in life, what are your goals in life. To set up a library, that is another thing. Teachers जो करते हैं वो ज्ञान यज्ञ करते हैं, कॉलेज में प्रोफेसर करते हैं, they do ज्ञान यज्ञ. So one is dravya yagya, second is gyan yagya, and third is what we call the jap yagya or homatmak yagya. Jap yagya, when you recite God's name, that is jap yagya. And homatmak yagya is when you do the havan, what is our topic today? Science of yagya. So what I'll be concentrating upon is the homatmak yagya, the science of home that we are going to do today. Now, is it relevant? As you rightly said, is this science of yagya relevant in today's conditions? See, let me tell you, there's a small joke which I heard somewhere. 3 souls, one from Delhi, one from Syria, and one from US. They reached heaven and they were talking to each other. So they were saying, how did you die? So the Syrian fellow said, look, ISIS bombarded my house and I died. The US fellow said, you know, there was a big tornado in my, you know, town, and something collapsed on me and I died. And then it was turn of the Delhiite to say, the Indian guy to say how he died. So he said, I was doing pranayam and I died. Because the pollution in Delhi was so much. So when we are struggling with our nature, let me tell you another episode. We have polluted our nature, you know, tremendously, and yagya reminds us that when we have reached a point of no return, so do yagya so as to, you know, cleanse the nature, cleanse the atmosphere. I'll tell you another thing, and it is our duty to do it. I was in the UK, as you said, I was at the King's College Hospital, London, and it was my first day in the ICU, and I did not have my, you know, white coat, which the doctors normally wear, my size of white coat. So, you know, I was given a white coat of a person, of a you know, a white guy, a tall, white, big guy, so 6.5 foot. So, I mean, it was very loose fitting for me. So while I was taking a round of the ICU, you know, it accidentally, because it was loose, is accidentally, you know, touched a betadine bottle. You know, betadine bottle is a, you know, antiseptic bottle which normally lies in the ICU, on the ICU desk. So, you know, the black colored liquid spilled all over the floor. And, you know, I was scared because it was my first day in any foreign hospital. So I, you know, as here in India, we would say, you know, we'll ask, Dhanji bhai, aao and saaf kar do, clean it. You know, we would ask any attender to come, and as a doctor, you know, we feel it is our right to ask a 4th class employee to clean the thing. So the same thing I did. And there was a black West Indian guy who was mopping the floor. I asked him, David, why did you do one thing? I accidentally spilled betadine. Would you mop it? He said, who spilled it? In that West Indian tone. Who spilled it? I said, I spilled it. You spilled it, you clean it. So I got the first lesson of my life. If you do something wrong, it is your duty to, correct it.
Absolutely.
Let me tell you, we are polluting. The same applies to all of us. We are polluting the atmosphere 24/7. From morning, we are anyway breathing carbon dioxide out, polluting the atmosphere. While brushing our teeth, we are, bringing all the dirt out. Morning rituals, urine, feces, sweat. We stink. We take bath. 24/7, we are polluting the atmosphere. 24/7, we are polluting the atmosphere. We are polluting that nature. It becomes our duty to clean it, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So आप गंदगी करते हैं, आप सफाई कीजिए. आप क्षति करते हैं, आप क्षति की पूर्ति कीजिए. आप दोहन करते हैं, it is your duty. आप गाय का केवल दूध निकालेंगे और गाय को चारा नहीं देंगे तो गाय दूध देना बंद कर देगी. Nature को we cannot be milking nature all the time. We have to nourish it also, isn't it? आप नुकसान करेंगे, भरपाई करने की जिम्मेदारी आपकी है. You have a right. You have a right to oxygen. You have a right to water. You have a right to food. You have a right to all the things that nature provides us. But it is also our duty to replenish it, to nourish it. The damage that we are doing to the environment, the damage that we are doing to the nature, it becomes obligatory upon us to correct it. आप देखेंगे, I come from Bihar, and I had gone to Bihar to meet my grandmother. A very small thing incident I would like to relate. And I asked, Dadi, मुझे भूख लगी है, जल्दी खाना दो. So she was preparing it very fast. She was old lady, but she was trying कि मेरा पोता आया है बहुत दिनों के बाद, तो खाना उसको जल्दी अच्छा बना के दो. उसने खाना बनाया, and I was in a hurry. I tried to take out my portion, but she said, no, wait. First I have to put कुछ रोटी के टुकड़े और जो खाना बनाया into the chulha. That time we had a chulha. So I have to put something in the chulha before I give it to you. So she, so then I later realized that this is what is called Bali Vaishwa. Bali Vaishwa ki ahuti. Bali means tax and Vaishwa means Vishwa. If you earn something from the world, you have to give some tax. But the government taxes us, isn't it? If you earn something out of the government resources, it is our duty to give tax to the government. Similarly, if you take something from the nature, it is your duty to pay the tax. That is why it is called Bali Vaishwa. And if I would want you to recall, whenever there is a Shav Yatra, it used to be there in every household. Yagya used to be performed in every household since the very beginning. And that's why even now, when we take a Shav Yatra out, जब शव यात्रा निकलती है कोई, if somebody dies and we take a शव यात्रा, who walks in the front? एक कोई स्वजन एक छोटे अर्थन पॉट में वो कुछ जल रहा होता है, अग्नि लेके he is walking in the front. एक स्वजन is walking in the front.
Right.
And that means Agni was there in every household. Akhand Agni was there in every household. And if I can tell you, Lord Krishna in the Gita says that we are born as a twin to the Agni, as a twin to the Yajna. If you read the 3rd chapter, I think if I recollect correctly, for 3rd or 4th chapter, he says, Sah Yajnah Prajah Srishtva. Yajna ke saath Praja ka sarjan maine kiya hai. So we have come as a twin brother to Yajna. And that's why we remember, we have forgotten that basic, why we are carrying that earthen pot with Agni inside to the Shabya. We can also do it at the, at the, जहाँ पे जलाते हैं शव को, वहाँ पे भी अपने जला सकते हैं अग्नि. But why we have to take it from the home? क्योंकि वो अखंड अग्नि घर पे हमेशा रहती थी, which we have forgotten. That is why it is very important. And you rightly said, it doesn't belong to Sanatana Dharma only. Churches also have candles. वहाँ पे भी एक candles जलते रहते हैं. That is a remnant of Yajna. मजार पे धूप जलती रहती है, अग्यारी में अग्नि होती है, पारसीज की अग्यारी में अग्नि होती है. So it is not confined to a Sanatan Dharma. It has been there since long. It's a timeless wisdom which we have forgotten and which is very important for us to, remind ourselves and start doing it.
So few have put us to this wonderful introduction that Shati Purti to karni hi hogi. We have taken so much from the environment and from nature. If we do not replenish, well, we are the ones who are going to be suffering. And that's what we have seen right now. Earth has put its reset button on, and then that is where we are today. Now, Jha Sahab, if I were to ask you, होमात्मक यज्ञ की आज हम बात कर रहे हैं, the one that we are going to be able to do it at our homes, at our respective dwelling places. How exactly can a commoner, how exactly can somebody who is not into any ritualistic life or living, how can somebody really get into understanding the basics of this? So if you can just take us through some of these primaries, because as I understand, there are two elements involved. One is the heat, second is sound. Heat through the fire, and the sound, that is the mantra. And these two, when they combine, they give you a sense of maybe well-being, and they try to cleanse the immediate environment, charging the environment positively. So if you could just take us through these steps, it'll really be very nice.
True. Now, let me tell you that this is not just, as I said, it is not just a religious procedure. It's a great blend of science and spirituality. It's a meeting point of science and spirituality. It is an integration of both. And we know that science without spirituality or spirituality without science is not a good thing. We have to be rational, but we have to be scientific, but we have to be spiritual too. Agar aapke paas bahut achhi gaadi hai, but if the driver is not good, so spirituality is the driver and the material things or the gaadi is the science. So you have to have a good driver, that is spirituality, and you have to have a good car, that is science. Then only we will be able to ride the life journey in a proper way. Now let me tell you, as you rightly said, this yagya basically, or homatmak yagya, home, now we are confining ourselves to the home yagya, is basically a science which involves three things. Number one is it's a science of fire. Number two, it's a science of sound. And number three, it's a science which involves herbs, jadi booty, some chemical substances, natural chemical substances. We'll take them one by one. Now, let us see what is the science of fire. Fire basically is Agni. In Hindi, we call it Agni. And Agni is called Agni because when Creator created this universe, जिस सृष्टि की संरचना की भगवान ने, तब उसमें जो पहला देवता निकाला, उस पहला means अग्र, आगे. That is why it is called Agni. Agni is the first natural force which was created by the Creator. And Agni, if you see in Greek they say ignis. That comes from Agni, ignited minds, ignis. So it has been derived from this. So the root word is Agni. It is the first force of, and we have learned in our school that it is the most important discovery by man. The second discovery by man is wheel, chakra. But the first important discovery by man was Agni, fire. And the unique thing about Agni is it only can be used by a human being. No other animal can use this Agni. Yeah, it is very peculiar. It's a very unique thing to humankind. It's a very unique thing. And that is why our ancient researchers, our ancient scientists, that is whom I call rishis, they wrote one whole Veda, Rig Veda, on Agni. The whole Rig Veda is devoted to Agni. The first mantra or the chanda of Rig Veda is अग्नि मीडे पुरोहितम यज्ञस्य देवम ऋत्विजम होतारम रत्न धातमम. It means, I mean, it's a very simple Sanskrit. It means that, O Agni, you give everything to humankind. रत्न धातमम, रत्नों की आप वर्षा करते हैं, रत्न धातुओं की आप वर्षा करते हैं. We invoke you, you bless us with ratnas. Ratnas means all the virtues, all the good things, material things, spiritual things. You bless us with those. So that is the first mantra in Yajna. And even scientists, they are wondering what is fire. To the extent that, I mean, neither it is solid, nor it is liquid, nor it is gas. Even people say it is plasma, but then they are also confused whether it is a plasma state or not. So ultimately, some of the scientists have gone to the extent to say that it is wonder of the wonders. So they have not been able to explain. So that is science. And basically, it is a very unique thing. So it involves, Yajna involves, Homatmak Yajna involves one very unique thing, which is fire. This is the science of fire. Number two, the other thing that it involves is science of sound. Sound. Because we chant mantra, right? Now, any skeptic would ask, how is sound going to help, in Homatmak Yajna? Let me tell you, if you ask any physicist, a human audible range is from 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. That is the audible range. Beyond that is ultrasound, and below that is infrasound. It depends on the frequency of the sound. Our rishis, they divided sounds into 4 categories: Baikhari, Madhyama, Para, and Pashyanti. Baikhari sound is the sound which is audible to us. As I am talking to you, you are audible to me, I am audible to you. That is Baikhari. Second is Madhyama. Madhyama means the gestures, the expressions. Your facial expressions, gives an expression, you don't have to say anything, but your facial expressions, your gesticulations, your gestures, आपकी भाव भंगिमा बताती है कि आप क्या कहना चाहते हैं. That is Madhyama. Third is Para. Para is something which we can call Akashwani. It is meant for a particular person. When I went to Badrinath, let me tell you a very small incident. There is a Vyas Gufa and there is Ganesh Gufa. And we all know that Vyas, when he wrote Puran, he didn't himself write it. He asked Ganesh to write. He was dictating and Ganeshji was writing. And when I saw the distance between Vyas Gufa and Ganesh Gufa, the distance at Badrinath is about 100 meters. So I asked a local guide, was व्यास जी को कितना जोर से बोलना पड़ता होगा तो गणेश जी सुनते होंगे. तो बोला कि भाई साहब ऐसा नहीं है, वो परावाणी से बोलते थे. Paravani, that is Akashwani. We hear that Kans heard Akashwani कि देवकी का 8वां पुत्र आपकी हत्या करेगा. Only Kans could hear it. Similarly, when you tune a radio or a TV station, when we go to a particular frequency, only that frequency is caught by the TV, and only that channel you can visualize or hear. So this is meant for a particular person. And the fourth is a Pashyanti Vani. Pashyanti Vani is the Bhavana ki Vani. Sound of your emotions, sound of your inner being, inner soul. And लोग कहते हैं कि ये वाणी का मंत्र में जो साउंड होता है उसका क्या इफेक्ट हो सकता है. लेट मी टेल यू, एज अ सर्जन, व्हेन आई ऑपरेट and I use sound to cut and coagulate. That is called harmonic scalpel. We have a machine, the tip of which vibrates at more than 50,000 hertz. And I can cut tissues, I can cut muscles, I can cut skin, I can cut, I can coagulate blood vessels. Blood vessel mein se bleeding ho rahi hai, I can touch, and that sound coagulates. It's called harmonic scalpel. You can Google it and find out. I use it every day. So a sound can cut, a sound can coagulate, a sound can stop bleeding. So that is the effect of sound. No skeptic can deny the effect of sound. Ultrasound. You can see ultrasound, we use it daily. Ultrasonography of abdomen. आपके पेट में दुख रहा है, वो डॉक्टर साहब बोलेंगे क्या USG abdomen करा लीजिए आप, है कि नहीं? Pregnancy, you go and do the fetal sonography. So we get a picture. I mean, any person will call us fool. अगर 50 साल पहले आप किसी को कहा होगा कि sound से you can get a picture, he would call you a fool. But sound can do it. Science has proven it. So sound has tremendous capacity, and Ved mantras are arranged in such an extraordinary scientific manner that its proper pronunciation creates a specific vibration in the ambience, not only in the ambience, but in the subtle centers of the body. That's why sound is called Shabda Brahma, Nad Brahma. These are basically spiritual missiles, sonic bullets. There is one missile which which जो आपके शरीर के प्रखच्चे उड़ा देगा. But this missile, it has constructive effect on the mind, has constructive effect on the thoughts, has constructive effect on the way we think, on the way हमारे जो संकल्प होते हैं, हमारे resolutions होते हैं, it makes a positive impact on them. Apparently, the sounds used in yagyas are basically, either a prayer or it conveys some sort of a moral education. But covertly, it's a medium which helps the orator connect to the divinity, connect to the divine forces of God. And it helps in refining the subtle energy, not only in our body, but also in the space and in the environment. So it is basically, we create a divine energy. If I can, put it in a simple way, metaphorically speaking, if I can say, if I can compare it, this yagya is basically like it's like a syringe. When we inject something into somebody's body, into somebody's vein, एक तो होती है सिरिंज के अंदर आप डालते हैं दवा, और सिरिंज के आगे आप लगाते हैं needle, and then you poke into the patient, isn't it? So this is something like that. Yagya is something like that. Whereas in the syringe is nothing but the fire pit. जिसके अंदर आप हवन करते हैं, यज्ञ कुंड is nothing but the syringe. What we put inside the medicine is the herbs. Yeah? And where is the needle? Needle is the mantra. Through this mantra, we inject the herbs, the medicines, using this mantra into the environment and into our inner milieu, into our body. You have heard of the word pyramid. Sure. How does this word pyramid come? Basically, Havan Kund is an invert pyramid. Pyramid का मतलब होता है, pyros means fire, and mid means in the center. So the fire in the center. So it's a reverse pyramid. So it is when you add fuel to fire, we get physical energy, as in scooter or your scooty or your car. Fire plus fuel means physical energy, and fire plus mantra means divine energy. It influences your subtle consciousness. And this thing, the herbs and as you said, people say it causes a lot of pollution. Why? When you burn something, it naturally, you burn something means you create a pollution. People will say you create a lot of carbon dioxide and all this. You raise the ppm of the environment. But here, it is not a simple combustion. It is a very complicated combustion. Only specific woods are recommended in yagya, which give rise to very less amount of carbon dioxide production. Like mango wood, sandalwood, devdar, bargad, sami, gular. These woods, they create very less pollution in the atmosphere, very less. And what are the materials used for oblation? As I said, we are polluting, we are making the nature stink. The environment, we make the environment stink, because of all the things that we emit through our urine, feces, saliva, sweat, and all. So it is our duty that we, release some odoriferous substances in order to, counter that effect, stinking effect. So in yagya, we use saffron, we use musk, we use agar, tagar, elchi, jaifal, camphor. They are odoriferous substances and also healthy substances like ghee, jaggery, and herbs like Giloi, Brahmi, Shankhupushpi, Mulati, Bahera, Sont. So there is a combustion, and not only combustion, but steam volatilization, oxidation of the herbs, and what is released is essential oils. Essential oils out of the wood that we have, जो समिधा जिसका आपने उपयोग किया है, उसमें से जो essential oils होते हैं plants के, phytochemicals, they are released like thymol, eugenol, terpenol, which gives an aroma to the atmosphere, aroma to the ambience. जहाँ पे भी कहीं यज्ञ होता है आप देखेंगे एक सुगंध आती है वहाँ पे. So that gives an aroma, and certain chemicals which are released are also bactericidal and virucidal. So I mean it is, and the herbs that we use, they are oxidized and they are volatilized and they are सूक्ष्मीकृत हो जाता है, उसका सूक्ष्मीकृत हो जाता है और वो आपके शरीर में जाता है, and whatever disease you have, that tries to rectify the disease. So it's a very scientific process. And then people would say, as you said, why do you invoke devas? अब देवताओं का आह्वान क्यों करते हैं? तो ये religious procedure हो गया. But देवतास, as I said, are nothing but forces of nature. आप हिंदू हो, मुस्लिम हो, क्रिश्चियन हो, जो भी हो, you have to inhale vayu, isn't it? We call in Sanatan Dharma vayu as Dev, Agni as Dev, Vriksha as Dev, Gai as Dev, rivers as Deva, Himalaya as Deva, Sagar as Deva, sea as Deva. But they belong to everybody, whichever religion you belong. So there is no harm in saying thank you to all these forces of nature. If we are exploiting them, if we are taking their benefit out of them, it is our duty to say, hi, hello, thank you very much. So this is a way of saying. Simple example I will give you. Sun. People say, क्या आप सूर्य की पूजा करते हैं? It's a celestial body. Any astronomer would say it is a mere celestial body of which the earth rotates around. But you see, a physicist will say it's a celestial body where what happens? Hydrogen and hydrogen join, and there is a tremendous amount of nuclear energy is generated because hydrogen and hydrogen join to form a helium. So there's a nuclear fusion taking place, and that's why it is emitting so much of heat and radiation and light, isn't it? For a psychiatrist, let me tell you what is Surya. Surya, if you bifurcate जो आप संधि विच्छेद करें इसका, तो it becomes Su means good, and Ir means prerana, inspiration. It's an object which gives you sundar prerana, sundar inspiration. It inspires you. When it is morning time and you wake out of bed, if the sun inspires you to come out of bed, start doing things. That is why people in the West and in northern hemisphere, close to the northern, where it is very cold and sun doesn't shine round the year. In winter days, when there is no sun for 2-3 years, they go into depression. They go into depression because that source of inspiration is not there. हमारे यहाँ पे भी जब बहुत दिनों तक बादल लगा रहता है तो बोलेंगे अब कंटाल गए, अब थक गए, अब थोड़ा धूप निकले तो अच्छा लगे. Sun is the source of inspiration. Su-ir, sundar prerana dene wala. And it is the soul of the universe. And Lord Krishna says in the Gita, Tapami aham varsham nigrihami utsrajami cha. I am there. Tapami aham. मैं तपता हूं सूर्य के रूप में. And because of the Surya, we have all the life growing on this earth. So it is emphasizing on the Devata, why we invoke Devata.
So, thank you so much for this beautiful, short, but then quite detailed explanation and understanding of what exactly yajna is, what are the basics that we need to really understand before getting into, performing a yajna. Sir, now this question arises quite often, and that is, many times I've seen, and this question also has been asked by one of our attendees here, that before doing and performing a yajna or havan, a lot of people wear something called a janeu or nada chadi. Is there any specific scientific reason behind that?
No, see, basically, I mean, we would be digressing from the topic if we go into that detail. But let me tell you, there is absolutely not essential to have a janeu or to have a kalaba, or it's a, as I said, it's definitely a religious procedure. It's a karma kand, which involves certain protocols. As a part of the protocol, I mean, there are certain things which you do, isn't it? As when we started this webinar, as part of the protocol, you introduced me, you welcomed the audience, So this is a part of the protocol, that you better to have a janoi, better to have a kalava. Kalava means to make a resolution that I will be performing this yajna. It is kind of a resolution, sankalp. आप संकल्प ले रहे हैं कि हम यज्ञ करेंगे, to where the janoi is nothing but Gayatri. Gayatri is Sat Chintan ka pratik, righteous thinking, and yajna is righteous deeds. Yajna is righteous deeds, and righteous thinking is Gayatri. That's why they say better to have a janoi when you are performing yajna, but it is not compulsory. If anybody wants to do yajna without janoi, absolutely no harm. But better to have righteous thinking and righteous deed make you a better human being. But before I go into, before you ask any other question, let me tell you one more scientific aspect, if you allow.
Sure.
Yajna, as I said, in the present pandemic that we are having, the COVID-19 pandemic, yajna is a great source of negative ions. Negative ions, in simple terminology, I can call it prana. And these are nothing but, oxygen, which has a negative charge on it. Oxygen which has a negative charge on it. And we are all well aware during this pandemic that the government, there is fumigation, drug fumigation, har jagah sanitization and fumigation is going on. Yajna basically is nothing but herbal fumigation, if you look at it from scientific point of view. The aerosols, we are all worried about कि किसी का वायरस कोई खांसेगा और उसका वायरस आके हमको हमारे शरीर में घुस जाएगा through respiratory tract. So we are worried about the aerosols that are generated when a person coughs or sneezes or talks, isn't it? So these aerosols which contain the virus are usually positively charged, and yajna generates negative charge. So this negative charge, when it comes in contact with the positive charge, it drops on the ground. So it neutralizes the effect of the aerosols. So researchers have proved that these yajna fumes, they have bactericidal effect, they have fungicidal and virucidal effect. Experiments have been done. See, the Western scientists, they say, we discovered that diseases is caused by bacteria. Robert Hooke, if somebody is a virologist or a microbiologist or a pathologist in the audience, would know that father of microbiology is Anton von Leeuwenhoek. And he said diseases occur because a germ or microorganism enters your body and causes diseases. But let me tell you that our Vedas, they have, I don't know how many years ago they have written about microorganisms, and they call the microorganisms Yatudhan. And I would read a verse from the Atharva Veda, which says, He yagya idam havi Yatudhanan nadiyenam ibavavahat. Means, He Agni, He yagya, यातुधान को, मतलब माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिजम्स को जैसे नदी झाग को बहा ले जाती है, वैसे ही आप इसको बहा ले जाओ. Look at that. This is Atharva Ved. It's a verse from Atharva Ved. People say we discovered tuberculosis is caused by bacteria, Mycobacterium tuberculosis. There is a mention in Atharva Veda. Agni says, Agni of the Yajna, it says, Munchami tvam havisha jivanaya kamagyat Yakshayut Rajakshamat. Rajakshama means tuberculosis. I will, hey Vyadhigrast, is telling to the person who is diseased, हे व्याधिग्रस्त, तुमको चिर काल तक सुखपूर्वक जीने के लिए गुप्त एवं प्रकट राजक्षमा के रोग के कृमियों को तुमको मैं छुड़ाता हूं.
Amazing.
Can you imagine? Our researchers, they were such great rishis were researchers. They were the scientists, and they have given us timeless wisdom. So, I mean, we cannot, and it is for the science today to explore and find out what ancient wisdom in the Vedas is there, how it is relevant today. Yajna is one of the most important ways and means by which science and spirituality can be brought together.
Absolutely. And you said it right that it's been there for thousands of years, and the rishis, the researchers have already done multiple layered research, and they've put up their findings for everyone to study. Of course, you got to break that code to understand and decipher the meanings. And we have got you to help us with that. So, Dr. Jha, now you also mentioned one thing that yajna, or maybe the kind of yajna that you are suggesting we all get into, it would help people build their immunity and maybe take care of the basic pathogens around, fight viral infections. What kind of yajna is that, and what would I need to do? Because like I said in the beginning, yajna to most people is pretty complicated an affair. It means that I need to go and get myself a Havan Kund, and I need to get into an entire protocol of purchasing different kind of say material. So what can a commoner, what can a person who's running a household, what should he or she do? And at the same time, what would be the best period of the day to do the yajna, to invoke the energies of the cosmic forces?
Yeah. Now I can give you a practical demonstration.
Oh, that would be
if it is okay with all of you, and if you permit.
No, absolutely, sir. This is the time of the talk that we possibly everyone was waiting for, because there was this a desire in everybody's mind कि आज शायद यज्ञ करके कोई दिखाएंगे डॉक्टर साहब, and that's what you're going to be doing. So thanks a lot.
Thank you. Now, before I do that, let me tell you, there is a nice book. If somebody people can see, Yajna Ek Samagra Upchar Prakriya. This is written by Pandit Sri Ram Sharma Acharya. He's my spiritual master, and he has propagated the science of yajna. There is another book, Yajna Ka Gyan Vigyan, which unfortunately I don't have it right now. It is in my hospital, but it is such a big book. Can you see that? And he has written all the kinds of experiments that have been done, and he has brought out all the Vedic wisdom which yajna incorporates into this book. And this is another book, Yajna Chikitsa, yajna therapy, which is written by Dr. Pranav Pandya, who is the head of the Gayatri Parivar right now. And these are two absolutely fantastic books, which I would recommend all those people who are doing who should to read this. Now I would see the simple. I do yajna every day. Since my college days, I do yajna every day. And if I can, direct my camera, are you able to see?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. So I brought the whole thing. It's a very simple thing. If you don't see, please let me know. This is, it's a nano yajna. We call it nano yajna. This is the thing which is propagated nowadays because people don't have time, in their daily routine. They can't spend 40-45 minutes doing a proper ritual, proper yajna.
Dr. Saab, would it be possible for you to bring that a little closer to the camera, maybe, so people can see it? And
this is a small earthen made from clay. And what I put is a small diya. You can see the cotton wick.
Right.
Yeah, inside. So, seen? Everybody can see it?
Yes. So this
is a ready-made thing which is available, which can be procured from any person who is involved with Gayatri Parivar.
Okay.
Yeah. Then there is another thing which I would like to show you is a Gomay Kund. It is made out of cow dung. Cow dung में जो देशी गाय होती है उसके डंग से उसको सुखा देते हैं, उसमें they put some herbs, right? Giloy, Brahmi, and there are certain herbs, 6-7 herbs डाल देते हैं इसके अंदर, and they dry it, उसको सुखा देते हैं.
Okay.
Smear it with little bit of ghee. Yeah, थोड़ा घी लगा दीजिए, and then you put it on this. Are you able to see?
Yes.
दिख रहा है ना आपको?
See.
Shall I bring it closer?
That will be better.
Yeah. Then what you do is आप उसको दिए को प्रकट कीजिए आप. And कपूर डाल दीजिए और इसके ऊपर ये डाल दीजिए. ठीक है?
Okay.
And now this slowly it will catch fire. And then you oblate. कुछ नहीं करना है आपको. गायत्री मंत्र अगर आता है आपको या महामृत्युंजय मंत्र आता है तो you can, this is ghee.
Okay.
Yeah, little bit of ghee, and say Om Bhurbhuva Swah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat Swaha. Release it into the kund.
Okay.
And this is a Havan Samagri, which is available with in the market or with any Gayatri Parivar member. It can be available. Arya Samaj ke mandir mein se bhi mil sakta hai. You take one Havan Samagri, Om Bhurbhuva Swah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat Swaha. Idam Gayatrai Idam Namam. You keep doing it. It is such a simple procedure. Om Bhurbhuva Swah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat Swaha. Idam Gayatrai Idam Namam. So you keep doing it for maybe say 11 times or 24 times.
Okay.
And this whole thing will catch fire and everything will be burned to ashes. You can repeat it for 24 times.
Okay.
And, once you are done, I mean, इसमें क्या है हिमाद्री जी कि you have to add your devotion, your emotions,
of course,
your आपकी भक्ति को, आपकी संवेदनाओं को, आपकी भावनाओं को उसमें जोड़ना पड़ेगा. You can feel that I am giving this oblation. मैं आहुति दे रहा हूं इस नेचर को, प्रकृति माँ को. You are feeding the nature. Nature is feeding you through oxygen, through water, through food. Now it is turn of the बच्चे को प्रकृति माँ खिलाती है. अब बच्चे की जवाबदारी कि वो अपनी माँ को खिलाए. It is give and get, give and get.
So beautiful, so beautiful.
Yeah, so it becomes incumbent upon us, since we are son and daughters of the nature, that अगर माँ ने हमको खिलाया तो हम माँ को खिलाएं. So this is the basic thing of yajna, होमात्मक यज्ञ. And it cleanses your, आपके घर के atmosphere को clean कर देगा वो. You will be free of diseases. And there are certain yajnas which are basically meant for particular disease, which is called Bhaishajya yajna. जैसे आपको tuberculosis है, तो there are specific material which you have to oblate for that particular yajna. So for every disease there is a particular Havan Samagri, जो Havan Samagri हमने डाला अंदर. For every disease there is a particular Havan Samagri.
Okay.
To take care of the disease. So this is in short, and it is not very difficult. As you can see, it hardly entails 10 minutes of time.
Absolutely. It is such a simple process that you have shared, क्योंकि कई बार ये लगता है कि बाहर जाके, going out and getting that cow dung, and that's such a messy thing, and how and where can I procure that? You've made it so simple. The entire Gayatri Parivar has made it so simple. A small havan pot, and then this cow dung it's been created. It's so beautiful and so easy.
So I mean, ये cow dung का हम उपयोग करेंगे तो those skeptics who say कि you are burning trees and doing deforestation, उनका भी मुंह बंद हो जाएगा.
बिल्कुल. Skeptics have if we were to focus on skeptics, I guess nothing would.
We will not be able to do anything.
We would not be able to do anything because they have been abusing everything and anything that's got to do with some kind of these protocols, and the ones who keep doing it, they are the ones who are benefiting the nation as well. This is very, very, very profound, so beautifully explained by you. Such a wonderful way to get into doing this. अब एक छोटा प्रश्न ये है डॉक्टर साहब, ये यज्ञ जब हम करते हैं, what would be the best time of the day? Is the morning Brahma Muhurat the best period? What would be
at the time of sunrise or sunset? That is the best time.
Okay, so now if somebody were to, like कई बार होता है ना कि I need protein, so I can have too much of protein together. So is it also the same with yajna? Too much of yajna, that is subah sham roz karte hain, so will it be adding value to me, or is it detrimental?
No, it cannot be detrimental. I mean, doing once a day is enough. If you have more time, you can invest more time into it. You can do it for 30 minutes, 45 minutes. That is no issue. But excess of it is also not much. But then there is no point in doing it in excess. Actually, कहते हैं कि जितना आप जप करते हैं
जी
1/10 आपको हवन करना चाहिए. 1/10.
Okay, so that's a very good logic. I mean, जितना जप करते हैं, that's a very good formula actually. जितना जप करते हैं, 1/10 time can be invested for yajna. And you mentioned that we can invoke the Gayatri mantra or Mahamrityunjay mantra. Very nice because I think Gita में कहीं कृष्ण जी ने लिखा है कि मंत्रों में मैं हूँ गायत्री मंत्र. So
गायत्री छंदसामहम, ऋतूनाम कुसुमाकर गायत्री छंदसामहम, मासानाम मार्गशीर्षोहम, मतलब कि गायत्री छंदों में गायत्री मैं हूँ.
So डॉक्टर साहब एक और चीज पूछनी थी. While doing the yajna, do we need to take care of? There's a question also coming in from Nimisha ji. किसी specific direction में बैठना जरूरी है क्या?
नहीं, ऐसा कोई specific direction नहीं है. But if you are alone, in the morning you can face east.
Okay.
In the evening face west, because sun is the deity whom गायत्री मंत्र जब करते हैं तत् सवितुः वरेण्यम, उस सविता की हम आराधना करते हैं.
Okay.
So Savita is so facing. See, now I must show you. If you can see.
Yes, beautiful.
Yeah.
Second, I'll put you on spotlight so everyone can see. All right. Okay, so beautiful. And this would last for how long?
I mean, it depends on how much of आहुति आपने कितनी दी है, herbs कितना डाला है. Normally, it should last about 10-15 minutes.
Okay, so I trust this can be done on a daily basis as well by people.
Very easily, everybody can do it. And let me assure you, as a responsible medical practitioner,
Ji.
the chances of you developing viral or bacterial illness will become negligible. And we have done experiments. Experiment was done by Adaraniya Mamta Saxena ji, B. Sen Gupta. He was member secretary, Central Pollution Control Board in Delhi, and Dr. Pranav Pandya. They did an experiment in 2007 to study impact of yajna on indoor microbial environment. And you will be surprised to find that the result showed there was a 95% reduction in bacterial count, viral count, fungal count, pathogenic bacterial count in the atmosphere.
Oh, this is stunning.
And not only that, because he was from, B. Sen Gupta was from Central Pollution Control Board, they also studied the effect of yajna on the pollutants like sulfur dioxide, nitric, various NOx gases, what do we call it? Nitrogen pentoxide, nitric oxide and all. there was a 60 to 70% reduction with only 1 hour of yajna in the atmosphere. So this is basically servicing of nature. You do servicing of nature, nourishing the nature, removing the impurities of nature if you perform yajna. So if everybody starts doing it, the whole environment, the whole atmosphere will change.
And then you rightly said the NOx levels, while they remain the same, the SOx levels they have been dropping significantly while doing and performing the Havan. And yes, if everyone would come together and perform this Havan, it would be such a beautiful thing. I think the Gayatri Parivar is coming together with almost 4 crore families to do this on 31st of this month. And
we have started some movement which is called Grihe Grihe Yajna Abhiyan. Grihe Grihe, har ghar mein yajna ho. So we have started this. Dr. Pranav Pandya, he has been the mastermind behind this, and he has started this movement कि ऐसा करें कि हर घर में यज्ञ हो. So उसी के अंदर में we have started this nano yajna. This is called nano yajna, छोटा यज्ञ. So छोटे कुंड में. So so that people can easily do it, despite being busy.
So this is such a wonderful thing. And Dr. Jha, would the same yajna, the kind of yajna that you have done right now, would it be good enough for all of us to do on a regular basis, or do we need to change the combination of herbs? For example,
no.
The question that came in
there's a common Havan Samagri which is available.
Okay.
Which is a mixture of several herbs.
Okay.
Since we are doing not for any specific disease, we are doing it just for for the sake of doing Havan. You can use that common Havan Samagri.
Okay.
And that has enough herbs in it, and you can oblate with little ghee and camphor. Agar dhoop hai to dhoop. Google, what do you call it?
Google, right. So some of these resins are available and they can be used in the Havan. एक प्रश्न ये आ रहा था, and I was reading this question on the question board that during these days for the COVID-19 pandemic, would this yajna be enough, or do I need to add something different to my samagri?
Yeah, there is from Shanti Kunj, that means Haridwar, they have recommended addition of certain herbs in larger quantity.
Okay.
Like Giloy, Mulhati, Bhaira, Sankapushpi. There are certain material, I don't remember the names of those herbs, but then they have a specific Havan Samagri made for exclusively virucidal effect. Okay. So that can be used, but the common Havan Samagri is good enough for normal this thing.
Okay. So आपने जो अभी बताया कि Shanti Kunj has recommended a specific combination and a mix. Where can we source that information from, or maybe if I need to buy that, where can that be made available? I'm just asking a question on behalf of everyone.
Yeah, it can be available. It can be made available by any Gayatri Parivar Parijan to you.
Okay, and Gayatri Parivar is present across the country, so anyone from the Gayatri Parivar would be able to help.
Yes.
Dr. Saab, there are many questions that are coming in, so can we take a few questions from the audience?
Yes, please.
So the ones who would want to ask a question directly, please raise your hand, and then I'll get your mics unmuted. And before that, there's a question that came in twice, which of course you have answered previously, but then the same question can be answered once again, that would yajna also be useful for CABG, for the coronary arterial bypass graft, angina, would it also be useful in that kind of a situation?
It is not, I would not recommend, because it has not been proven. So I would not go to the extent of supporting this yajna for, if you have a blocked coronary arteries, or or if you need angioplasty or this thing. It has not been scientifically proven. So unless it is scientifically proven, I will not be able to recommend it.
Sure. So there are a few people who have raised your hands. You might need to change the name, one or two of you. You've got your phone numbers and some codes there. Please change that to your name, and maybe I'll be able to address you and have you ask the question. There is, we've got Dr. Madhuri Parale. Madhuri ji, would you want to ask a question? Please do that. Your mic is unmuted. Dr. Madhuri, your question. Okay, so I believe she's unable to get her mic working. Bhavani Shankar ji, your question. Bhavani Shankar ji. Folks, you will need to get, you'll need to have mics unmuted if you want to ask a question. Dr. Madhuri, I believe.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. I want to thanks Dr. Jha sir. He has told such a beautifully and very useful things he has shared. One thing I want to share my experience that I got that Gaumai Kundka kit from, I am from Nagpur. I am consultant homeopath. And I got that Gaumai Kundka kit from Nagpur only. It is of 220 rupees. And we have everything in that. And I started doing yagya from lockdown only, sir. And I put it that ash, which was remaining ash was put it in my plants, which were very much rotten. And within 15 days, sir, they have sprouted like anything, and they have grown very beautifully. So this gives a positivity, and the research thing that the plants which were rotten and gems were there. They are very beautifully grown now. That's the experience I want to share with you.
Yes, yes. There was a research done by National Botanical Research Institute, Lucknow. It's a very reputed institute, NBRI, National Botanical Research Institute at Lucknow. And they have done a research, and they found out that this Homa ash, when they performed yagya amongst the plants, and they found out that the plant pathogens also, are killed because of the fumes and because of the ash. And this ash has more phosphorus, so it can be used as fertilizers also. So Agnihotra farming is done by several countries. See, there are several Agnihotra farms in Peru, in Australia, in Eastern Europe, Poland. So you are right, Dr. Madhuri, that it has tremendous benefit. It improves soil pollution, it corrects air pollution, it corrects water pollution, it corrects, the inner pollution, the pollution of the thoughts. So it has Rambane. It acts everywhere.
Such a wonderful thing. Plants benefit, we benefit, the entire nature benefits. Mr. Rakesh Gulati, you have a question. Please ask, sir. Mr. Rakesh Gulati. Okay. We've got a question from Dr. Kalpana Jaiswal. Dr. Jaiswal.
Before I ask a question, let me tell you one more thing, very, very important thing.
Yeah.
Our sanskars, we have Sodas sanskar, 16 sanskars, right? From Garbhadan, Punswan sanskar to Antyeshti sanskar. In our Veda scriptures, they have mentioned Sodas sanskar. Sodas means 16 sanskars. Right now, we follow only 2 sanskars, Vivah sanskar and Antyeshti sanskar, when Havan is performed. But in all these 16 sanskars, yagya was integral part of the sanskar. Right?
Oh, yeah.
And look at this. Namkaran sanskar, Annaprasan sanskar, Vidyarambha sanskar, Upnayan sanskar. These are all done when the child is less than 10 years of age. And the child's immunity is less when he is born. So he is more susceptible to infections.
Right.
So our rishis, they decided to do sanskars in the early part of life so that their body becomes immune to the diseases. It has a positive impact on their thought development process.
Wow.
So our sanskars, it has yagya ingrained in it. And the other thing, especially in this COVID scenario, the best way to dispose of a diseased body is incineration. Burn it.
Right.
Best way.
Right.
Because if you bury a person, then the bacteria stays. But if you incinerate, all the viruses and bacteria die.
Right.
So it is a very scientific process, and Antyeshti Sanskar involves that Havan.
Okay.
So we start with Havan and we end with Havan.
Life itself is a Havan, if we actually, take it that way. Rakesh ji, your question. Your mic is unmuted. Okay, we've got Ami.
मेरी आवाज आ रही है सर?
हाँ, आ रही है.
हाँ सर, मैं 2000 से 2016 तक 10 मेडिसिन लेता था, एंजाइटी, डिप्रेशन, नींद की, बीपी की, शुगर की, बीच में पाइल्स के लिए, प्रोस्टेट के लिए 3-4 साल से मैंने एक भी टेबलेट नहीं ली. आई वॉज वर्किंग ऑन हैप्पीनेस एनर्जी.
I guess we have lost Mr. Rakesh. Ami, you have a question, please ask. You'll have to unmute your mic.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
हाँ सर, जो अग्निहोत्र होता है यज्ञ, वो पर्टिकुलर टाइम पे जो सनराइज का पर्टिकुलर इवन लाइक घर की जो लोकेशन होती है, लॉन्गिट्यूड, लैटिट्यूड, अक्षांश, रेखांश, उसका पूरा टाइम टेबल होता है. तो उस हिसाब से वो डिफर होता है. उसी टाइम पे बोले लाइक 15 मिनट पहले वो लोग यज्ञ लाइक कर देते हैं और फिर उसी सेकंड पे वो 3 आहुति देनी होती है.
Yes, yes.
That is उसमें और इसमें क्या फर्क है? लाइक
कोई फर्क नहीं है. It is just the timing, and actually if you do it right at the sunrise and right at the sunset, it is supposed to have an augmented effect. But it is not possible for all of us to do exactly at sunrise and exactly at sunset. So I mean, you can do it round about sunrise and round about sunset.
Okay.
और बलि वैश्व भी लाइक वो करे, that is also okay? और
Yes, yes, Bali Vaishya is also okay. See, it depends on how it is convenient to you. There is no hard and fast rule. ये hard and fast rule की वजह से when you become rigid, people leave it. So the best thing is not to be rigid, be flexible, do according to your convenience. But then out of the convenience, if you are able to do it at sunrise, very good. If you are not able to do it, whenever it is convenient to you, you can do it.
Thank you so much, sir. You mentioning this, that when things become rigid, people stop doing it, and that's the reason that the Gayatri Parivar and people like you have made it so easy, flexible, and that's how benefits can be taken in. Nitin Devdar, your question.
Yeah, thank you, Himadri ji, for arranging such a wonderful show, and Dr. Jha for giving such insight into the Yagna philosophy and the technique itself.
Thank you.
My wife has been performing Agnihotra for quite some time now, and we can really see the benefits. Can you rather explain some other modes of Yagna also which can be performed? You have shown about this micro Yagna, about Agnihotra I know myself. Are there any types of other Yagnas which are possible?
I mean, there are various kinds of Havan Kund, various, where जो आपको संविधा आपको अलग-अलग डालनी पड़ती है, अलग-अलग आप हवन सामग्री का उपयोग कर सकते हैं. So, I mean, this is a yagya which I demonstrated was basically for those people who cannot have time, to do the elaborate procedure. So, I mean, in our hospital, when I perform yagya, it is an elaborate yagya every day, 40 minutes. In our hospital, we also perform yagya, so that is an elaborate yagya where, because patients' relatives come and there are many people around. So that is an elaborate yagya. But this is just for a convenience, for the time's sake, that.
But is that only Gayatri Mantra, or do you
can have
other hymns also which can be accompanied with the Yagna?
Depends upon your convenience. You can use Surya Gayatri Mantra, you can use Ganesh Gayatri Mantra, Mahamrityunjay Mantra.
Thank you so much.
There are several mantras.
Right. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Doctor, your question, please.
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, why we have stick bhasma on lalat and kant and right hand and heart?
Yeah, at the end of I got your point. At the end of the yajna, जब यज्ञ की पूर्णाहुति हो जाती है, तब वो भस्म जो है उसको माथे पे लगाते हैं, गले पे लगाते हैं और छाती पे लगाते हैं. इसका मतलब ये है कि योर as the yajna process ends, what you get is a small amount of ash. So it reminds you of the philosophy. I mean, it's a philosophical aspect. It reminds you that your mortal remains also will become ash. So it reminds you of death. So if you have death in mind, you will not waver from morally upright things or ethically correct things. You will stay on principles. You will stay morally correct, ethically correct, and you will not do any wrong things. That's why, it's a grim reminder of death.
Okay. We have 4 more hands raised. We'll take these last 4 questions. Ladies and gentlemen, we are keeping Dr. Jha away from his work. He's a doctor, as you all know. So can you please quickly put up your questions? We start with Tanvi. We go then to Pragya Arpit, and then there are 2 people. One is Galaxy J7 Prime, and there is another code. So maybe we can take Galaxy J7 Prime. You've already unmuted your mic. Can you have your question, please?
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Give us your name.
I'm Dr. Hem Prabha.
Ji.
Hello. Thank you very much for this wonderful talk.
Thank you.
I just wanted to know that those persons who are having some problem in the sitting on the floor, can they do over sitting on the chairs also?
Yes. No issues.
Because
Yeah,
it is said that you should sit on some asan, kusha asan.
Kusha asan is good, but if you are not able to do it, chair is also good.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Sam. It
Absolutely,
was a wonderful deliberation.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Everything is clarified to us.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Thank you so much.
Nice of you.
Pragya Arpit. And sir, before she asks you the question, or he, I would really not know. There's a question that somebody put up, and that question is, it is maybe believed by a few people that you cannot invoke the Gayatri Mantra loudly.
It's a misconception.
Okay.
And it's a conspiracy, I would say. Conspiracy by some sects, by some people, just to see, jab kisi ko sona milta hai, so he doesn't want to part with that, जो भी आपको धन मिला है, जो भी आपको संपत्ति, you won't want to part with that. So some people try to keep confine that wisdom, confine that dhan with them. Right. So then it is a conspiracy. Anybody can do. Gayatri Mantra can be chanted loudly by females, by any age group, anybody. They say it should be confined only to Brahmins. No, nothing like that. Anybody, any human being, if it's a dog, if you can pronounce Gayatri Mantra, should do it.
Wow, such a simple explanation. Tanvi, you have a question, I believe, on yellow while doing the Havan. Is that
yes.
Okay.
Yes, there was one more question, but yeah, that is it.
No, you can ask. Go ahead and ask the question.
Yes, actually, when we give that 7 ahutis of ghee, and then we put idam gamama in the kapoor water, and in the end, when we take that gruta, I think, so we apply it on our face and everywhere on the body, wherever it pains or something, and then we smell it. So what is the use of that?
Yeah. So when you perform yajna, basically the fumes you inhale. So it is a nebulized herbs which go into your lungs. Now, yajna, in yajna, I mean, it also has, you can also apply it on your skin. Like, so if somebody has skin disease or psoriasis, that idamam ghee and the herbs and the ashes, that can be applied on your skin to take care of the skin diseases. It serves as an emollient, and you are accepting God's grace. The feeling is that you are accepting God's grace all over your body. That is a feeling.
Okay.
That is the emotion that will be attached to while performing this.
Okay, and I'd ask one more question about wearing yellow. What is the significance of yellow color? Means
Yellow color. Okay.
yeah.
You should wear yellow color clothes. That's what you mean to say?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, basically, yellow is the color of the sun, and we are invoking sun god. And yellow is the color which, the microorganisms. See, there was an experiment done where they found out that fly, mosquitoes, bacteria, virus, they are repelled by yellow color. Right? So there was an experiment done when they found that several colored, different colored clothes were kept, and they were exposed to a same kind of microorganisms, the mosquitoes, fly, and they found out that on the yellow color there was least, colony of these fly and mosquitoes and all.
Oh.
It abhors, it repels.
Okay. Oh, that's an amazing,
There is a scientific this thing to it.
it's an amazing learning. Shashwat Srivastav.
हेलो
Yes.
नमस्ते, बहुत अच्छा आपका प्रेजेंटेशन था सर, बहुत इंफॉर्मेटिव भी था। दो प्रश्न हैं सर। पहला तो ये कि जब हम थोड़ा सा एक लंबा जैसे 108 आहुति वाला यज्ञ करते हैं तो जैसे मतलब सारा जो स्टडी है वो तो यही है कि हमारे प्राण ऊर्जा बढ़ती है, पर यज्ञ के बाद इमीडिएटली थोड़ी सी नींद जैसी क्यों आती है? यू फील रिलैक्स्ड, पर ऐसा लगता है थोड़ी देर सो जाए थोड़ा, कोई उसका मेडिकली
तो आपका वो आपको जो है टेंशन आपका कम हो जाता है। when you are relaxed, you tend to sleep. Now, it doesn't happen with everybody, but if it happens with you, then it is good. I mean, you are relaxed, you are less stressed, and actually if you sit for 45 minutes or 1 hour of yajna, you become a bit tired because it is not a usual posture for you to be in.
Okay.
If you feel sleepy after that, don't worry, it's okay.
दूसरा प्रश्न है कि जैसे हमने 3 चीजों की बात की कि पदार्थ और अग्नि, और मतलब जो सर हमारे जो आपने बताया जो पूरा विचारों का जो है संस्थान, उस पे उसका फर्क पड़ता है, तो ये साउंड से फर्क पड़ रहा है या फिर मतलब सामग्री के रूप में जो साउंड जा रहा है?
हाँ, तीनों का फर्क पड़ता है। इट्स ए कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ ऑल द 3, फायर, साउंड, हर्ब्स, तीनों का कॉम्बिनेशन है which is making an impact.
Right. अर्पित।
नमस्ते सर।
नमस्ते।
आज बहुत अच्छा लगा आपसे मिलकर। आपके बारे में मैंने बहुत सुना था और लास्ट 10 ईयर से मैं भी यज्ञ कर रहा हूँ। इतना तो इंट्रोडक्शन हुआ सर। अब मैं अपने क्वेश्चन पे आता हूँ कि सर जिसको हम बोलते हैं कैपिलरी नेटवर्क, जो कि कोलैटरल है, जो कि जिसको नेचुरल बाईपास बोला जाता है
जी।
ऐसे में यज्ञ का प्रभाव, चूंकि आप कार्डियक सर्जन ही है, तो आप ये बताइए कि उसका यज्ञ पे प्रभाव क्या पड़ता है, कार्डियक सेल्स पे आपको क्या प्रभाव दिखा? और सर आजकल एक बीमारी बहुत कॉमन हो गई है, टैकीकार्डिया, ब्रेडिकार्डिया, जो कि बहुत सारे लोगों को पेसमेकर सेल्स से दिक्कत है, कि बहुत सारे लोग जो है वो मायोकार्डियल इंफेक्शन में है। तो ऐसे लोगों के लिए आप क्या सलाह देंगे और उनके लिए यज्ञ कहाँ तक एप्रोप्रिएट है, ये मैं जानना चाहूंगा।
यज्ञ अगर दिल की आपको बीमारी है या नहीं है, दिल की बीमारी है या नहीं है, आपको यज्ञ करना चाहिए। अब इसका कितना इफेक्ट हार्ट पे पड़ता है वो तो मैं आपको बता नहीं सकता हूँ, लेकिन मैं आपको ये बता सकता हूँ कि हमारे हॉस्पिटल में प्रतिदिन यज्ञ होता है, नित्य यज्ञ होता है। तो जिसको भी हार्ट अटैक होता है या जिसका भी हम बाईपास करते हैं या जिसका भी, मेरी पत्नी कार्डियोलॉजिस्ट है, वो जिसका भी एंजियोप्लास्टी या एंजियोग्राफी या कुछ भी करते हैं प्रोसीजर, तो उसमें उनकी रिकवरी काफी फास्ट होती है। और हमारे यहाँ पे जो इन्फेक्शन रेट है ऑपरेशन के बाद का, और हॉस्पिटल के जो हॉस्पिटल एक्वायर्ड इन्फेक्शंस होते हैं, दैट इन्फेक्शन रेट इज आल्सो वेरी लेस। सो इट हैज अ वेरी पॉजिटिव इफेक्ट आपके रिक्यूपरेशन में, आपके कॉन्वलेसेंस पीरियड में, आपके जो हॉस्पिटल पीरियड में। मैंने बहुत लोगों से प्रतिक्रिया ली, उनका रिएक्शन लिया जब वो जा रहे होते हैं हॉस्पिटल से डिस्चार्ज होके, तो उनका ये कहना होता है कि हमको काफी मानसिक शांति बहुत मिली. वी फेल्ट वेरी गुड. और हमारे हॉस्पिटल में गायत्री मंत्र का चैंट चलता रहता है आईसीयू के अंदर, ऑपरेशन थिएटर के अंदर, एक धीमे स्वर में गुंजार गायत्री मंत्र का, महामृत्युंजय मंत्र का, तो उसका भी एक पॉजिटिव इफेक्ट आता है. और लेकिन वी हैव नॉट बीन एबल टू स्टडी कि जो आप रिसर्च मोड में हमने स्टडी उसको किया नहीं है, बिकॉज इट इज वेरी, वो ऐसा पैराडाइम है जिसको टू स्टडी इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट. बट लेट मी टेल यू के पेशेंट्स फील वेरी benefited. They feel at calm, at ease, and very relaxed.
Thank you so much, Dr. Saab. Ladies and gentlemen, generally to meet Dr. Anil Jha, you have to have a cardiac, challenge. Generally, अगर आप मिलना चाहें तो आपको दिल की बीमारी हो तब डॉक्टर झा मिलते हैं. आज बीमारी न हो और न हो किसी को, न परिवार में न समाज में, उसके लिए डॉक्टर झा हमारे साथ रूबरू थे. And this is one of the best things that we had today. How not to fall ill, how to take care of the environment, how to take care of Mother Earth. And we had that wonderful an hour and a half, and kahan shuru hua, kab khatam hua, we really did not realize. There are many hands raised. I'll just let one question flow in. I've got two people, who have already raised their hands since a while, and maybe Mr. Shailesh Patel and Dr. Rohit Gupta, if you can unmute yourself and maybe you can start the question right away. Make it very quick, please.
Hello, Dr. Jha.
Yes. Hello.
I am Dr. Rohit Gupta from Varanasi. I am a laparoscopic surgeon. I share your view as your view regarding cardiac. I have regarding same view with my abdominal surgery. And same thing is happening in my hospital. We are doing daily Havan and chanting of Gayatri Mantras.
Very good.
And all patients responded very well. And all are saying that this is not a hospital, but this is some sort of temple and ashram. And all are feeling very well.
Very good. Excellent. Excellent. If there is any virologist or microbiologist or pathologist in the audience, I would request them to, do research on Yagya fumes, more research on Yagya fumes, how they are effective on viruses, because this virus COVID-19 is just one virus. We will be having several viruses in future, several such pandemics in future, and we have to start, preparing ourselves and see if Yagya is a very effective means to control. Why not propagate Yagya so that we, in future we don't have to face such kind of a pandemic.
Right. Thank you so much. Last question, Mr. Jaydeep Bhansali. Jaydeep ji.
Hi, Dr. Jha. It's been a pleasure listening to you.
Thank you very much.
Really, and being from a scientific background, I was really a little skeptical in the beginning about the yagna. All my life, I've always been skeptical about rituals, and I really loved the way you explained sounds and the harmonics, the sound energy and the harmonic scalpel and the way you cleanse the environment. Now, I have one question that you said we are already consuming oxygen while we are breathing. Now, while we are burning the yagna, while we are actually the flames, wouldn't they be consuming more oxygen?
Yes.
So I understand that we are reducing the NOx gases and that is the advantage, the benefit. But what about the oxygen levels?
Now, let me explain it to you in this way. See, when we do yagya, we are consuming oxygen, you rightly said, and there is some amount of carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide also being produced, no doubt about it. But see, when you do farming, you have to throw seeds in the soil, isn't it? So you have to part with some seeds. So this is, you can say, as an initial kind of investment.
Okay.
Because you have to reap more. When you 1 किलोग्राम अगर आप बीज डालते हैं तो आपको 4 टन grains मिलता है. So you have to part with some to get more, isn't it? So it is, you can consider it to be initial kind of investment.
So the oxygen is a sort of a compensation that, something
And
that
No. But yeah, that's right. Some kind of a compensation, and the amount of oxygen that we have in the environment is just tremendous.
Right.
Moreover, our ancient wisdom has been suggesting that we must respect trees. So keep planting trees and keep doing Havan.
Okay, got it.
So there is you don't, and as Lord Krishna says in the Gita, Sahajam karma kaunteya sadosam api na trijet. Aapka jo sahaj karma, you keep doing. There will be dosh in that. There will be deficiencies in that. There will be inadequacies in that. Sadosam api na tyajet. Don't leave them. Yeah, so keep doing. These are all good karmas which we should keep doing.
I'd like to thank all our attendees today for bringing up such pertinent questions that allow us to think more and feel more convinced. A few of them shared their own experiences with Yagya, and it reinforces the belief of people like me who might have been fence-sitters that this is the best way to move ahead in life. Thank you so much, everyone, for being a part of this discussion today. And I'd like to, thank Dr. Anil Jha for taking, out so much of time to see to it that people who are interested, they get into the protocol of doing the Yagya every morning, and the ones who were not into it, now there are very, large number of converts into getting into doing Yagya. Jha Sahab, it's been a great pleasure. It's been a great honor to host you this morning. And I'm really, really privileged that the Gayatri Parivar has somebody like you. Jigar Thakkar, thank you so much for introducing such a magnificent personality, not just as a person. I've known Dr. Jha as a surgeon, as a cardiac surgeon since a long time. But then Dr. Anil Jha, the Yagya expert, the person who has the science and who's harnessing the powers of Yagya science for everyone. Thank you so much, Dr. Jha, once again.